My name is Golda Lucas. I grew up in Long Island, New York. Recently moved here to Charis from Florida. My husband of 52 years and I had moved to Florida to retire. We had great hopes of doing ministry in Florida. And we went up Christmas to visit with our children and grandchildren, and we all got COVID. I came through it fine, but he was having trouble, and so we went to the hospital. I did not know the things that I now know, and unfortunately, my husband died of the remdesivir treatment. It killed his kidney. I know they say it was COVID, but it really wasn't. It killed his kidney, and he died. And I went back to my brand new home, brand new furniture, brand new life, and said, God, who am I? What am I to do? I don't know who I am anymore. I didn't even have roots there, yet. And he said, you are the bride of Christ. Prepare yourself. I heard that so clearly in my spirit. And I felt this veil come upon me. And so I went and got my talit, because I'm of Jewish background. And I just sat there and I worshiped him. And over the next weeks, God began to minister to me through the book of Ezra, telling me that he would give me a heart for what he has next. He would lay a new foundation and Christ would be my cornerstone, that I was to be like Ezra and the grace of God would be upon me to go study his word and to preach his word. So I had been, Frankie and I, my husband of 52 years, my lover, my friend, my covenant partner, we were planning, we even talked about maybe doing a year here. So I came out, I saw the words in a vision, sell, store, go. So I sold my house. God sold my house. I didn't even work at it. All my possessions and those things that I wanted to retain, I stored, and I came here. And anticipating, because I said, Satan, you stole my life and my husband, but I'm going to bring as many to the kingdom as I can. So that's what I came here for. And when I got here, it's like the voice of God just shut down. I couldn't explain it. I was in classes, I was studying. I couldn't sit in healing services because it just made me cry. And so what happened as time went on is I just was gaining information in my brain, but somehow my heart had shut down. And I wasn't hearing the Lord. I'd hear him in his word, I'd hear him in the messages, I'd watch messages on TV, I'd pray out loud, but I could not sit silently or I would just break down in sorrow. I didn't even know if I wanted to come back second year because I felt like this pot, beautiful potted plant that got ripped out of its pot, and I had no source of life. I couldn't draw from him personally anymore. And so at the message, when he began to talk about the heart being overcharged and that a heart drunk with sorrow can't receive from God and retain the things of God, it was like all of a sudden I knew this is where I was. I had a drunken heart. I had a heart so filled with sorrow that my mind could take it in, my spirit could take it in, but my soul was dying in sorrow. But I was so thankful to God. I mean, people say, were you angry at God? I said, no. I had 52 beautiful years with this man, and we wouldn't have had it if we hadn't gotten saved at age 27. We would never have been a happy marriage, a good parent. Jesus is everything to me. I just can't see him. I can't hear him. And so I humbled myself before the Lord, and I said, I am sorry, Lord, that I have allowed this sorrow to be more overwhelming than you, more important than you. I know my Frank is with you, and I have to take rest and peace in that. Help me to hear you again. I repent of this drunken heart. And I started to be able to be quiet before the Lord and spend time with him. And I could hear him say, I've never left you. I've never left you. And he told me, I'm not done with you. Finish second year. So I knew that I was to do this again. But it'll be a different year for me this year because of that message. Because the enemy can no longer deceive me into believing that my life will always be a place of sorrow. but that I'm going to experience that joy again. And I am going to be used to reach the lost, all because that message unlocked something for me. It's an amazing thing how that one message unlocked and freed me. That message is called the sober heart. And I have learned so much through his ministry, through his teachings. I am taken by his humility, by his approachability, by his love for the Lord, by his honesty in his messages, and he takes me deeper. I've never understood grace the way I did through his messages on grace. Incredible. And Gladiators, I mean, my goodness, I went home for Christmas. It was hard, our first Christmas without Frank, but I saw things in my family that were troubling, that I had realized that I had grown in the things of God. Again, not in my intimacy, but in my knowledge, my understanding of God through these messages and my schooling. And I saw things, and I came back, and he was doing the messages on Gladiators, and I said, okay, Lord, I'm strapping on my sword. I am going to fight this. My family is not going to be taken down. Now I'm going to go rescue as many as I can. I'm going to be used of God for the rest of my life. And then I came here, and I just lost myself. You would think I would find myself, right, in Charis. And of course, the messages and the church and all of that helped me stay sane. But I so missed the intimacy with Jesus. And that's the part I couldn't get hold of until that message.